What's going on, guys? Civil World from Simulations here, back with another 5 list for y'all today. And today I'm going to talk about 5 more disappointing movies. I'm going to do a first video, we guys want to check it out, talk about 5 movies that found to be just incredibly disappointing. Not bad per se, but for all my messages were like sky high, and then just so I figured why not make this a little series where I'm talking about more disappointing movies. And now here's part 2 of my films I found to be incredibly disappointing. And the first one we'll be talking about is another DC movie, and that is the Suicide Squad. And that is Suicide Squad, 2016. Now, there's definitely a debate whether I think this or Batman Superman are the most disappointing, because yeah, the trailer of this movie, the Bohemian Rhapsody one, was incredible. Like, it was going to be like an incredibly fun way, like basically DC's taking Guardians of the Galaxy, but in their own DC-esque way. But again, because of what happened to Batman Superman, where apparently people thought the dark tone was the issue, apparently they decided to like reshoot a lot of scenes and then decided to make it more fun and lighthearted and like very MCU-esque. I believe that was probably a long way to go, honestly. Apparently they took the wrong message from that movie. And the movie, it was not like entirely a true disaster, because I think the performances are still pretty good. It does have the occasional fun moment here and there. But oh my god, it has some of the worst editing I've seen in anything. This is a case where editing can really kill a movie. And it's okay. There was so much potential moments being great and aspect. I mean, this is the first time I actually saw Jai Courtney be actually good in the movie. The movie just didn't embrace what I wanted to do, and the movie just felt so disjointed, so totally imbalanced. Probably one of the most totally imbalanced movies ever. And while I can have the occasional fun moments, there can be moments that are just so cringy, so just, like moments that should be like fun and great, just don't come in that well. It also has probably one of the worst villains in a comic movie I've ever seen, and one of the worst climaxes in a comic book movie. Like, what were they thinking? And now the second movie on this list is a movie that I actually never really thought of in a while, actually. But I remember being like really disappointed. Like, it's not, I don't know, it's not bad by any means. I still think it's actually a decent movie. Just how much I enjoyed the first one, it just didn't really work as much as well, and that is Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising. Now, I actually love the first Neighbors, actually. Like, it's definitely a movie that's just very cliche and everything, but it's one of those movies that works well thanks to the comedy. Again, got Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, who, this proves that Rose Byrne can really do comedy pretty well, and Zac Efron, who also proves that he actually can be a great comedic actor. I don't say he hasn't proved that, but this definitely proved that. And it's a story that goes well as you expect, but it works thanks to the sharp writing, the great comedic chemistry, and the really fun heartbreaking moments. And this movie just feels like kind of a retread, just not with the same amount of heart or jokes or humor. Honestly, like, of course, the actors are still pretty good, and choreographed Mutt also does a pretty good job here. It just doesn't really hit the same heart or the great humor that you expect. Again, it feels like just a plain retread of the original, which is can be a sim when it comes to comedy sequels, is that they feel like kind of a retread sometimes. And this one definitely felt like a retread. Plus, you can tell there are some points where they don't know what they want to do with Zac Efron in this movie. Or at least want to do with his arc and everything, so just like, yeah. Overall, not a bad movie, still a decent movie, does have its moments. It just doesn't really hit the same fun beats of the original, that's what I'm saying. And now we actually get to another superhero movie number 3, which is The New Mutants. This movie got delayed so much, honestly. I think the assignment really died down with this movie when it finally came out in 2020. But it's really the concept, honestly, what makes it disappointing. Because it actually got a great concept. Like, it basically feels like an X-Men horror movie. Like, how can you not be interested by that? Plus, you guys got a pretty solid cast in it as well. I mean, what was frustrating now is that we got some first teaser of it. It actually got some pretty good hype and actually had potential. After because of the actual delays, I was like, no way it was going to be that good. Because usually when it comes gets delayed multiple times, usually it's never a good sign. And it's true, like, again, I don't think the Mutants is a disaster. I don't think it's like one of the bottom of the barrel X-Men movies. Like, it's probably one of the worst in the franchise, but it's not like terrible by any means. Like the other thing is still pretty solid. You do get some good moments here and there. And it's moments where you can see the glimmers of potential that they could have reached, but whether because of an editing portion or director standpoint or execution standpoint, they just don't really hit the beats or the scares or the themes that they want to hit. And that's really all I can really say about New Mutants, honestly. It's easily one of the more disappointing superhero movies, and especially, and probably, especially, in the Bay of being the most disappointing film in the X-Men franchise, which has a lot of disappointments. Now we got from actually, I have not thought of in a while, actually, the fourth one we're talking about here, and that is Independence Day Resurgence. Yeah, it's because they released it, got that like 9 years ago, they released Independence Day 2. I thought so. But yeah, I'll say, I don't think this movie is as terrible as it may out to be. I think it might be like one of the worst movies I saw in 2016. And looking back on it, it's like, I mean, it's not terrible. Like I'll say, it's still a bad movie in my opinion. It doesn't really have the same charm or the fun and the goofy nature of the original. I think Alton did not direct Will Smith is definitely like a bad sign here. Not that the actor, the lead here is not bad, it's just, he's just not getting good material to work with. And you can tell they're kind of just making up stuff as they kind of went along. Here, it just doesn't have that same like goofy, fun charm of the original. Like when a film with the action doesn't really excite you, that's when you know you got a problem. And the ways that have certain story beats happen, and just moments I feel like they're trying to back on the charm of the original, which I do love the original Independence Day. It's a film I grew up with, and I always love coming back to. Obviously, I acknowledge the flaws, especially how the movie ends, but it's a film I can always love coming back to, and I always watch every 4th of July. Thing is, the sequel that doesn't really hit the same good beats. And it's crazy, and it has probably one of the most biggest sequel bait endings I have ever seen out of any movie. Like, oh my god. But yeah, it's not terrible, honestly. It's still a bad movie. I don't think it's as terrible as it made out to be, but yeah, considering that I love the original film, I think it's going to be my most anticipated movie of that year, actually. I know. I mean, that's what, to be fair, that's when I started doing YouTube, so. But yeah, this movie definitely didn't hold up as one. It's still pretty bad. And now for the 5th movie on this list, we actually have another superhero movie. I know. And that is Batman the Killing Joke. Which again, a film that caused when given it could have been one of the best DC animated movies, probably the best, honestly. Again, I'm not familiar with the actual source material of The Killing Joke, but I do know it's one of the most popular comics of all time, or has one of the most oh my god moments, and some of the most emotional, some of the most like oh my god stuff happened in a comic book. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I always hear good things about that comic, what I'm trying to say. And I think it might be like pretty high in this movie when I first saw it, but I think the more as time went on, the more like it's not a bad movie, honestly. It's a movie that's the definition of two halves. Like they basically took a story that basically I feel like could be like just 30 or 40 minutes and just stretched it out to like an 8 or 9 minute runtime. That's basically what it feels like, because the actual Killing Joke portion is fantastic. It's incredible. It's really deep and heartwarming, and everything to when they actually start that up is great. It's obviously everything for them, so it's interesting because they kind of just making up time or just making up certain things about that. Which while I can kind of do what they were trying to go for here, they just didn't really do it in the most interesting and fun way. And don't get me started on that Bruce Wayne and Barbara kissing scene. That's been mean to death at this point. But yeah, this movie could have been one of the best DC animated movies, but unfortunately it just didn't really hit. Well, there's some 5 more disappointing movies, guys. Let me know what your thoughts on all 5 of these movies down below in the comment section. Let me know if you also found them disappointing, and let me know if you guys want to see me more talk about more disappointing movies. I would love to know that down below in the comment section. I am Civil World from Civil World Productions. I will see you next time as always. Stay cool, everybody. Peace.